Twitch has just been forced to attack one of their most treasured communities. Who am I talking about? It's not Minecraft or Fortnite streamers, it's the Hottub streamers. Picture this. It's spring break, maybe even summer break, and young Timmy is going on his favorite website, twitch.com. Now the parents see this, and all of those who seem to know about the site might assume that he's watching his favorite Minecraft streamer, his favorite YouTuber. But when you walk into little Timmy's room, you end up seeing this.
Getting too close to the sun, eh?
It's crazy. Because this community has been allowed to go and run rampant with multiple different times it's appeared in the top clips as doing something that most people find a little bit strange to allow on its streaming platform. So, like with any category, there are certain metas that will come up that will dominate the clips as well as the streams in these categories. Before, we had the green shorts meta, but the next one that came out was a little bit more on the edge of should this even be allowed. And this went by the name of the clear chair meta, but like Moist Critical had previously called it, I'm gonna also call it as well the starfish camera.
Like, I hope you guys know that when you see like other girls in the category like doing the exact same thing as each other, for the most part, like 99% of the time, like it's no tea, no shade, like no hate, no like cat fights going on. It's like when you go to, like, the way that I like to think about it is like when you go to a strip club and it's like there's a bunch of dancers there dancing, doing their thing. You know, that's kind of like we're all just hanging out. Like, we're all just like doing our thing.
What were you looking at? Did you see the gameplay? Were you looking at the games? What were you looking at? Did you see the gameplay? So obviously we can see what the focus of the content is. And this is no way the problem of the content creators. If Twitch is going to allow them to do this on their platform, then they should push it to the extremes until Twitch finally says something about it. Which they finally have. So let's take a look at what exactly they've said. Our community guidelines are designed to help make Twitch a welcoming place. Content on Twitch is always evolving, and we want to make sure that our rules work as intended to keep up with the emerging behaviors. When needed, we make updates to our rules that capture those shifting behaviors, and so it's clear to the community what is allowed. Starting Friday, March 29th, content that focuses on intimate body parts for a prolonged period of time will not be allowed. We've included additional details and definitions in our community guidelines linked below. Now you might be reading this and saying like, oh, it seems all well and good, but there's a very important key part of this that makes it a little bit iffy. It's the fact that it only says for a prolonged period of time. It gives no stated exact time to keep creators accountable. Instead, they can bend the rules and choose depending on who it is to see how long they're willing to let this content go on. Now the reason for this is because everybody knows that Coomers, the people that typically watch this type of content, are willing to give top dollar, meaning Twitch makes a lot of money off of these people. And why do they do it? For little incentives like doing jumping jacks or eating creamy treats on stream. I mean, it's the content that they can't get enough of, and they're willing to give their entire wallets just to do it. So that is why they've gone on for so long. And on top of all of that, there's still the vague ruling of the hot tubs and pool category, where all you really need is a Walmart-sized pool with a pitcher of water and a floaty in it in order to produce any kind of content that you want. Usually something along the lines of this, where you got 3 different cameras all pointed at your body, and you're still doing the jumping jacks and whenever you get a sub, and possibly even eating creamy treats or anything else that you want to add. So all these changes came into being on the 29th. And now that we're a little bit into the future, we can now see if any of this has done any changes to the content that's now on Twitch. Looking through the browser category, we don't really see any starfish camera, which is good. And for the most part, it seems a little bit more tamed. For the most part, besides the loopholes that Hottub streamers were already using beforehand. We then got to see more Pie do a stream, and for the most part the content has changed. We're no longer seeing the green shorts meta or any kind of starfish cam. Instead, we now have a clear focus on balloon tower defense, a game that she's playing. We still got the jumping jacks and the creamy treats. For the most part, it's become a little bit more tamed. For now, until someone eventually decides to push it even further and see what they can get away with again. So one thing that's important is it's still very early. We have no idea where this is going to go. Who knows, maybe a lot of these content creators won't want to give up the clear chair meta or the starfish cam and end up moving over to Kick, prompting Twitch to revert on this ruling. Or they could continue it, who knows, it just depends on what they want and what they want their platform to be. For me personally, I think if you're trying to make this a profitable business and you're trying to make more money, you want to start talking with sponsors and getting more consistent sponsors, you can't have something like this on your platform, especially not one that kids can access. Otherwise, you're pretty much going in the direction of being no different than Kick. But that's just my personal opinions on the matter. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed the content, please consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing. It really helps the channel out. Until next time, as always, peace. Could you guys imagine if I ended up getting banned for watching these streamers? Like, they just send me a Twitch ban and they're like, oh, you were looking up porn. No, it's actually streamers on your website. That would be the irony. That would be the actual irony of it. God damn. Like how they all put "got" in their fucking titles too. They're not even trying to hide it. What the fuck?